Reed is a storm chaser who builds his work around driving, filming, and getting close to storms. He repeats long car hours, road choices, and camera decisions to stay with a storm track. 2025 Dominator 3 intercept clips pushed Reed Timmer's storm chasing work back into mass circulation as short-form weather video. Let's rewind to the May 3, 1999 Bridge Creek Moore tornado. Reed keeps a personal benchmark for what close range can look like, and he returns to it when he talks about later intercepts. In the middle of the May 3, 1999 Bridge Creek Moore tornado, he is on chase routes where highways and overpasses set what is reachable. He works from a vehicle, and the windshield viewpoint shapes what the camera can hold. Metro traffic becomes a practical limit. He keeps moving with road network decisions instead of waiting for a single perfect spot. Close-range positioning carries debris risk and vehicle damage risk at the same time. He carries the camera footage forward. More distance coverage becomes necessary to keep up with later storm days. Reed builds a library out of single intercept days that can be reused years later. During the Manchester, South Dakota intercept in June 2003, he is in position for close-range filming of a wedge structure. The travel expands his chase map beyond Oklahoma, and the driving load comes with it. He ties the clip to a specific date and place so it can be packaged cleanly. Rural road access dominates positioning, and the lack of services shapes how long he can stay near the storm. He keeps the footage as a portfolio piece that can be released again with clearer labeling. The archive grows only with field travel. Reed steps into an on-camera role that becomes part of his operating life. In Tornado Glory, he appears as a central subject, while storm chasing stays both film material and field practice. He keeps chasing, but he now has recurring filming obligations that follow the trips. He works alongside Joel Taylor as a named chase pair in that framing. Camera presence changes how trips and intercept attempts are organized, and he has to keep producing usable coverage. He maintains travel schedules aligned with storm setups while repeating on-camera explanations in the field. Public release increases pressure to produce new footage. Reed widens his scope from tornadoes into hurricane landfall work. During Katrina landfall, he documents hurricane conditions while closures and flooded streets leave him only a few passable routes. Wind and rain dominate visibility, and the vehicle stays both shelter and filming platform. He keeps the cameras running through sustained rain when services fail and movement slows. He works around closures and debris while staying close enough to document conditions. The risk shifts into wind-driven debris and water exposure rather than a fast-moving circulation. Vehicle condition determines whether the chase continues. Reed's tornado chasing is not only about structure in the sky, it also becomes about moving through damaged fields right after an intercept. At Greensburg in May 2007, he films tornado conditions tied to Greensburg, Kansas, with town signage and debris fields in the environment. Road debris and blocked routes change mobility, and his route options narrow fast. He shifts between tornado structure and post-impact damage while trying to keep the vehicle moving. Operating without normal services becomes part of the working reality in a disaster zone. He balances filming with vehicle movement because damaged roads can strand him. Debris and closures shape the next intercept attempt. Reed's storm chasing gains a new layer of obligation when it becomes part of a TV format deliverable. On Storm Chasers, he chases while a filming routine adds setup time and repeated explanations in the field. He works inside a crew structure around a chase vehicle and camera rolls, then repeats that work across multiple states. The travel loop expands because filming needs are carried alongside the chase itself. Public identity shifts into an on-camera participant, and that changes what gets prioritized on a day with storms. He keeps the vehicle and camera setup functional to keep moving and keep filming. The vehicle and camera setup must stay functional to keep filming. Reed pushes close-range work into a clear equipment test that also carries personal risk. At Aurora, Nebraska, on June 17, 2009, he intercepts the tornado in the Dominator 1 while filming an inside experience. A mini suction vortex passes over the vehicle, and the driver's side car window blows out during the intercept. The roof anemometer is part of the setup he carries into that moment. The blown window raises injury risk from flying glass inside the vehicle, and the exposed cabin changes what he can safely attempt afterward. He continues operations with vehicle damage instead of treating the intercept as finished once the worst moment passes. Window repairs become necessary before similar intercepts. Reed moves a newer armored build from concept into real field use, where reliability becomes a daily question. In late May 2011 in central Oklahoma, he runs Dominator 2 across roads during outbreak travel and treats real intercept days as deployment conditions. He keeps the heavy vehicle moving on highways while checking systems between intercept attempts. Equipment reliability becomes a limit, and a failure removes the vehicle from the chase. Repairs and maintenance determine whether he can chase again after a hard day. He balances intercept positioning with the need to keep the vehicle functional enough to travel to the next setup. Field repairs remain necessary after each hard intercept. Reed works inside a metro threat corridor where access and movement can change by the minute. In Moore, on May 20, 2013, he operates in the Moore, Oklahoma tornado threat corridor, with metro traffic shaping every route choice. He drives and films while warning timing affects whether he continues chasing or returns toward Moore. Metro roads limit safe shoulders and force constant decisions under active warnings. Damage zones create movement limits that appear quickly after the event. He carries filming and reporting obligations during a metro impact window and keeps shifting between intercept attempts and damage area movement. Road closures restrict the next intercept approach. Reed meets a chase environment that demands constant repositioning and punishes hesitation. West of El Reno, on May 31, 2013, he films El Reno tornado structure with multi-vortex visuals while chaser traffic concentrates near highways. He stays in motion because staying ahead of the circulation requires constant route changes. Heavy chaser traffic adds risk and reduces the margin for clean exits. Vehicle damage risk rises with debris and sudden wind shifts, so he keeps cameras running while moving through congestion. Vehicle hardening remains a priority after extreme wind exposure. Reed adds a mission layer that is not just filming, but also instrument handling under pressure. At Linwood, Kansas, with a rocket probe, he attempts a launch tied to May 28, 2019, and treats the probe as a timed task inside an intercept attempt. The probe mission adds setup time and gear handling near the storm, changing how he uses the minutes before the core arrives. Launch timing becomes the hard limit, and a missed window wastes the mission for that intercept attempt. He keeps vehicle positioning as the base platform while carrying probe gear alongside camera gear. He picks a launch spot while tracking storm motion and resets equipment after a risky or failed attempt. Launch planning becomes part of the intercept routine. Reed shifts into a workflow where aerial and ground work are built into the same deliverable. At Andover, Kansas, with the Dominator drone, he publishes a drone and ground tornado compilation tied to April 29, 2022. He runs a chase while keeping a drone in the air, then splits attention between driving, storm position, and the drone feed. Drone operation adds a new task load during an intercept, and it has to be maintained as the tornado moves through a populated area. He builds the compilation by combining multiple camera sources, keeping the Dominator drone name attached to the tool in the same project. He treats drone retention and recovery as part of the same risk field as the ground intercept. Drone battery and signal limits shape how long footage can continue. Reed keeps hurricane landfalls as a repeatable lane where the work becomes sustained rather than rapid. During Ian landfall, he documents landfall conditions while closures and flooding restrict routes and slow movement. Wind and rain reduce visibility for driving and filming, and the vehicle stays the primary shelter and filming platform. He waits out peak winds while keeping cameras running, then moves between passable routes when closures shift. Debris impacts and flooding raise vehicle survival stakes, even when he is not trying to reposition quickly. Flooding and closures dictate the next relocation. Reed centers his 2025 output on the Dominator 3 as a visible carrier object that takes direct impacts. In the 2025 Dominator 3 intercept clips, he captures a moment where the vehicle is visibly impacted and rotated during a direct intercept. He leans on a near-stationary intercept style as the core arrives, and the task load includes camera mounts and sensor gear in the seconds before impact. The clip becomes a repeatable unit that can be reused across platforms without changing the basic facts of the hit. He keeps targeting setups that can support Dominator 3 positioning, then returns to repair checks after each intercept hit. Reed runs the Dominator 3 and publishes 2025 Tornado intercept clips. Dominator 3 repairs must be completed before the next intercept attempt. Camera mounts and sensors must be reset after each impact. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next.